I'm your host, Bobby the Brain Heenan.
Hello, everyone, and welcome once again to Prime Time Wrestling, where we feature the greatest professional athletes in the world today, the superstars of the World Wrestling Federation. What a blockbuster we have this week, Brian. You have a clue as to what we're doing this week?
I have a clue what we're doing. I'm trying to find out how to get my $100 back.
$100.
The one you beat me out of last week.
Oh, that's so minimal, doesn't amount to. What's $100
You're right.
to you?
You're right. What's $100?
It's nothing, right?
I don't care about $100. I drop that much in tips 3-4 times a day. Don't mean nothing to me.
Give me a break. Junkyard Dog, our feature match this week against the one-man gang. Should be interesting to see if the dog can handle this 500-pounder.
I don't think the dog is going to be able to power slam this guy.
It'd be interesting.
I think his best bet would be to put his tail between his legs and head back to the kennel. Speaking about mutts.
Well, this guy might make a good opponent for King Kong Bundy.
The gang?
Yeah. Be interesting.
It would be a heck of a match.
Of course, they'd have to reinforce the ring and everything.
Right, and they'd have to move ringside back around 12 rows, but Bundy would emerge victorious because I'm his manager.
I'm going to take a look at your latest find this week as well, Ravishing.
Oh, Ravishing Rick Rude. Probably the hottest item in professional wrestling today.
You think so?
I know so.
Even hotter than Mr. Wonderful? No comment,
yeah,
right?
he's... Well, I was going to say something.
Okay, I'm sorry, I interrupted. Go ahead. What were you going to say? Mr. Wonderful, was he in semi-retirement now?
No, he's not in retirement. Everybody keeps asking me that question. He wanted time off. He's relaxing.
We got
down
a special
the Caribbean.
non-title match coming up right now. The Hart Foundation taking on Powers and Roma. Let's go to it.
Let's go to it.
The following tag team contest is scheduled for one fall. About to enter the ring, introducing first the manager, the mouth of the South, Jimmy Hart.
Look at that
And
good-looking suit
accompanying
Hart's wearing.
the group foundation member, Danny Davis.
What's he doing out there?
Now introducing the participants. First of all, the World Wrestling Federation Tag Team Champions at a total combined weight of 515 pounds, Hitman Bret Hart, Anvil Jim Neidhart, the Hart Foundation. Their opponents at a total combined weight of 470 pounds from Kensington, New York, Paul Roma. And his partner from New York City, Jim Powers.
You know what I like about these
Ladies
two
and gentlemen,
Powers?
before we go any further, I have a
Just
very
second.
special
All right.
announcement to make concerning a very special guest. Undoubtedly, as now, he is one of, if not the most effective referee in the World Wrestling Federation.
Davis?
He certainly sees law and order his way and does not take a backseat to anybody. With that in mind, ladies and gentlemen, introducing the one, the only, Mr. T.
How about that? Mr. T on his way. Mr. T on his way to the ring. What an ovation. A standing ovation for Mr. T. Hey, take a look at that tricep. Not too shabby. Listen to Mr. T.
I wonder if Beefcake cuts T's hair. That looks like a Beefcake style job.
Hart Foundation, look at them turning their back on Mr. T. Danny Davis, whoa, look at this. And then Davis turns his back too. I'll tell you what, I've seen T referee a couple of matches recently, and boy, he takes nothing from no one.
Well, he's a tough guy. I'm not going to deny that. I just question his ability as a referee. I question Jack Tunney for making him a troubleshooting referee.
Well, you questioned Jack Tunney when he barred Danny Davis for life.
That's right. That's right.
We had an occasion to chat with Danny Davis earlier on about his presence at ringside. Here's Mr. Davis's comment.
The reason I'm in the corner of the Hart Foundation when they wrestle is because the referees around here stink. And I keep my eyes focused on that ring to see that those referees do things right.
There you got your answer, why he's down there.
Come on, there you go, hit me.
Oh, my. Powers and Roma, an up-and-coming tag Can't we do something about that megaphone Jimmy Hart has?
I like it. It adds to the play-by-play when you're not talking. I think from now on, I'm just going to call Jack Tunney Poindexter.
Oh, wait a minute. Powers and Roma coming into their own as a tag team combination, and the nice part about these youngsters is they'll take on the best, and they are doing just that.
Yeah, and they always smile when they get into the ring, but rarely do they smile when they're leaving the ring.
Can't you see how vastly improved Powers and Roma are on a week-to-week basis, though, Jesse?
Yes, but as you can see right here, they're still lacking. They're in the ring with the best in the world right there, the very best.
Yeah.
And you can see the difference right there.
That's true.
They're moving up the ladder. They're doing better. I see a progression out of them. Maybe if they found a Bobby Heenan, maybe if they found a Jimmy Hart to manage them, it would take them that much farther.
And maybe they haven't been around long enough to handle the tactics that perhaps the Hart Foundation is using.
Wow, did Bret Hart hit that turnbuckle?
Tag is made. Roma now in on Bret Hart. Roma setting up Bret Hart, coming off the, oh my! Drop kick. Anvil looking for a place to hide. Big man down to the canvas. Roma doing very well for himself. Off the rope, look at that.
Whoa. He's got to go after Hart. Hart's the legal man.
Here, moving in on the Hart. Roma hammering away. Trying to get Hart out of the corner, and indeed he does. And
oh, look at that brilliant move by the Hitman.
Wait a minute.
Oh, yeah.
On the ropes.
I love
That's
it.
That's illegal.
That's illegal, but it's a win. There's no asterisk in the record book when it's over. It's still a win.
Here are your winners, the World Wrestling Federation Tag Team Champions, the Hart Foundation.
I can't believe that they're going to let that stand. The Hart Foundation victorious. We saw what they did. The foot was on the rope there. Wait a minute.
What's this? Wait a minute. What is he sticking his nose in for?
Mr. T.
Who does this guy think he is? He's not assigned to this match. He's got no business in there sticking his nose in there.
I'd like to see some justice because he did see what happened.
We're going to get an announcement now.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee has reversed the decision. And
What?
awards the belt to Jim Powers of Paul Roma.
Look at that, Mr. T with Danny Davis. How about that?
I've seen it all now. You're telling me this joker with the mohawk haircut can come in and get a decision reversed?
Hey, if he's there, he's going to be taking in charge.
On what ground should the decision be reversed? The match should be continued. If anything, not a reversal of a decision.
Let's go back. Tremendous ovation for Mr. T, Powers, and Roma. Yes, indeed.
Oh, look at these buddies.
And take another look at what we saw just a few moments ago.
Look at this. Is there any way of a champion to defend their title? Now watch this cheap stunt by Bret Hart. Now watch this. Here's a one. Roma's ready to kick out, and here he goes. Look at it, both feet on the ropes. Now, doggone it was great to see some justice.
And look at Danny Davis. Charges Mr. T. T slips into it. Look at the way he throws the hip in there and lifts Danny Davis way up and then way down to the canvas for the hip toss. Mr. T don't take
and
aren't you know what.
And aren't you just excited about it?
Mr. T exhorting some of that power given to him by Jack Tunney.
What pitiful judgment.
President of the World Wrestling
First
Federation.
of all, what happened there, Bret Hart dropped the man, and he went to extend his legs for more leverage, and his toes merely hooked the top rope.
Accidentally.
Accidentally. But let's say deliberately he meant to do that. The most a referee can do is not reverse the decision, but have the match continue. Neither Hart nor Neidhart were pinned. That was a complete bad call on T's part, who was incompetent to not only be a referee, but to be a subhuman. And then on the other referee's part, you know his job.
You know what it says in the record book?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, it says
Powers and Roma.
Powers and Roma defeated the Hart Foundation.
It's not fair.
In a non-title matchup. Doesn't say anything about special appearance by Mr. T or anything of that nature. It just says Harts were defeated by Powers and Roma.
And then everybody blames me for
Sounds
things
sort
that
of definite, doesn't it?
Sounds rather terminal.
Yeah. You're going to have to deal with this, and all the members of your family are going to have to deal with Mr. T. Killer Khan, the latest find of the devious one, Mr. Fuji, of late has been spewing that green, horrible stuff out of his mouth, and something has to be done about that. You agree or disagree? How would you like that spit all over your blonde
I don't know
face?
what it is. I haven't seen it.
What?
I've caught a glimpse of it maybe, but I can't really. I'm the kind of an honest guy that can't really attest to what it is.
Please. The opponent, Leaping Lanny Poffo, has rejoined this match in progress. Let's go down to ringside.
You mean green Leaping Lanny?
Please.
Double karate chop or just sort of a shove. Kick. Nothing fancy about this guy. Killer Khan's very aptly named, Lord Alfred.
Absolutely. There's no fancy moves, you're right. Everything is calculated to be as devastating and as brutal as possible. He's a very vicious wrestler.
Took a knee lift to the chest, the midsection. Kick to the side, around the ribs, another kick. He doesn't fool around. He doesn't want to finesse you. He just wants to beat you down.
Yes, he's doing a lot of damage with those right-footed kicks to the midsection of Poffo.
Oh,
Missed
Poffo
with a
ducked him.
complete miss. Oh! Poffo trying to slam this huge
Yeah,
man.
it's instant hernia trying to pick him up, the body slamming.
I don't know what was in Poffo's mind there.
I think he was thinking body slamming.
Yeah.
310 pounds.
The only move that Poffo made that was effective was that drop kick. I think he ought to try that again.
Well, he's rubbing his forearm across the eyes, or the eye area of Lanny Poffo.
The referee is trying to break that hold, but I tell you something, Dick, it looked a legal hold to me. I don't necessarily think that was in the eyes.
Well, he didn't have any bandage or anything, any adhesive tape on his forearm, which was to rub across the eyes, Lanny Poffo, but maybe somehow he's inflicting some damage. I don't know.
Well, he's done a lot of damage to Poffo at the moment, and he really hasn't been breaking the rules.
Well, he's got both thumbs wrapped up. Now, maybe that has some damaging possibility. I don't know. We'll have to ask Poffo sometime. He would know.
What do you say?
Poffo is a resilient young man, but this is an all-out offense by Khan, and Poffo really hasn't been able to do much about it.
Poffo's in the bad part of town for sure. This guy is bad news. Poffo shoulder block and the immovable object. Now he's trying. Here's a knee lift or a semi-knee lift.
Poffo seems to be obsessed by trying to slam this monster. Maybe he thinks if he can slam him, that will solve all the problems, but he can't get him up to start with.
My goodness, my goodness.
Poffo really suffering.
Little karate chop. Down goes Poffo. This has got to make Poffo wonder seriously what he can do next against this animal, because he really is animalistic.
It's probably making Poffo wonder why he ever signed for a match against this man.
That's right. The fans sort of wondering if Poffo can get it together. Well, I'll tell you, he's into the corner, ducks out, and what he couldn't do himself, the ring corner did. Body slam.
Poffo thinks he's got him now for sure, and he may have. That's his move. Nicely, got him set up there.
Count of two, threw him away. And don't forget, as Lanny Poffo starts to manhandle Killer Khan, Bruno Sammartino and the Honky Tonk Band coming up soon. Don't go away fast.
Poffo obviously came in with a game plan, Dick, and that game plan was to slam this huge Mongolian.
Well, he slammed him.
Which he accomplished. He didn't quite pin him, though.
He's saying how I'm using my head. Well, so's Poffo using his head. Khan's head. Midsection, too.
3 or 4 tremendous rights by Poffo. Now going up to the ropes again. And this time it's the Mongolian's turn to suffer, and suffer he is.
Well, The referee counted 3 on that, but there's not much hair to grab hold of, is any? You're gonna grab the ears instead.
I don't know whether that's effective or not, Dick. What do you think?
I don't think it's making a dent.
He seems to be fairly impervious to that attack. He is.
Khan just doesn't feel pain, I don't believe.
No.
Grabs him by the hair, getting him on his feet. Whoa. Uh-oh, backbreaker.
A side backbreaker. Very heavily executed. What's he doing now? He's going to attack him with this huge man.
He brought that knee down. This may be the whole 1, 2, 3, and that's all she wrote.
Oh, my word. What a devastating move by a 350-plus pound monster like Khan.
Well, Khan did it. Let's get the bell. Let's get the announcement.
Your winner, ladies and gentlemen, Killer Khan!
Well, the green sputum nowhere in evidence. What did you lose?
Nothing. Looking for some green stuff. That's all you've been talking about.
Well, he didn't use it.
Obviously, he got your coat.
No, he didn't get my coat.
Well, I never saw him spit anything at anybody. He beat the man with
You
fair
haven't.
and right in the...
You haven't in the past several months that he's been here.
Not that I can recall. I could have missed it, though. Yeah, I'm
You
human.
have brain damage from that neck injury that probably got a bad uvula.
That one of those lamps with the stuff in it?
No, it would behoove you to take care of your uvula. It's very important. In fact, that showed up on the X-ray. I meant to mention that to you.
My uvula's, I've had it
But
sprained
this,
before, but it's okay now.
This Killer Khan, that's 300 pounds when he comes off that second or top rope with that knee drop. He's got that down to a science.
He can rupture your uvula.
Yeah, he surely can. There are a multitude of interesting things going on right now.
You're only as good as your last uvula.
Please, give me a break. We're going to catch up on all the fast-breaking events here in the WWF when we come back. The battle continues here in the World Wrestling Federation for a man who obviously has high aspirations here in the WWF, a man that Bobby the Brain Heenan feels is going to end up with him and his family or his stable or whatever, referring to Bam Bam Bigelow.
That's right, I have him wrapped up.
It would take a lot of paper, I understand, to wrap up Bam Bam Bigelow, but you haven't proven to anybody that you got him wrapped up.
I showed you on the video I had.
Let's take a look at the continuing drama in the Bam Bam Bigelow battle. Let's go to special report.
Hello, everyone. For the past several weeks, we've heard more than a mouthful from the managers in the World Wrestling Federation on what is being called the battle for Bam Bam. They're all in hot pursuit for one Bam Bam Bigelow, a 390-pound strongman who some tout the most agile super heavyweight around. Reports say this guy delivers flying dropkicks, cartwheels, and other aerial maneuvers never seen before from a near 400-pounder. So the question, who's going to land Bam Bam? Well, negotiations are still going on right now, so there's no answer there. However, we do have this bit of information for you.
This is Jesse the Body Ventura, and all you people know out there that nothing ever escapes the body when he wants to know. And the body is on top of the battle for Bam Bam. I got the inside info. Jimmy Hart, you know what's happening. Tell the people what's going down, Jimbo. Come on, Jimmy, let it out, man. That's the only way to get over it.
Can you believe Bam Bam didn't want me for a manager? But just remember, I still have 2 world champions.
All right, goodbye, Jimbo. But Johnny V, Bobby Heenan, Slick, and Fuji still are in the hunt. Now, those 4 lay claim to signing Bigelow, but new rule here, guys, only one manager to a wrestler. Now, we decided to take the Bam Bam issue to one of the greatest managers of all time, Classy Freddie Blassie.
Everybody knows Freddie Blassie knows managing from A to Z. And for what I see about Bam Bam, and what is left for him to select as a manager, I don't know. I know I wouldn't want to be in a running. It's too tough of a job.
Well, if a man as knowledgeable as Classy Freddie Blassie can't figure it out, you kind of have to wonder if anyone can predict what's going to happen. Perhaps we'll just have to wait for the word from Bam Bam himself. With this special report, I'm Craig DeGeorge.
Is that what you're going to look like in a few years, the fashion plate?
What do you mean? Man is very well dressed.
I know he's very
astute man.
well dressed. But I mean, is that a photo of you in years to come? The fashion plate into retirement now.
It'd be a pleasure to look like that man.
Yeah.
But you notice Rudy the Runt's out of it.
What do you mean Rudy the Runt?
A little
Oh, you mean
pipsqueak.
Jimmy Hart?
He's out of it, I told you.
Pipsqueak.
Sure.
Yeah,
Write that down. Capital P.
I know how to spell pipsqueak. He
I'm still in the
certainly
running.
didn't handle the rejection very well, did he?
Well, some people can handle rejection. Some people just can't gut it out and bear it.
We'll see how you handle it if it comes down
It's not
on
gonna
you.
happen. I told you that.
I'll tell you where there's a lot of dissension right now, and that is in the Morocco-Orton family. Boy, there's
I called that months
heavy
ago.
problems.
I told you there was too much trouble there because they were both highly skilled athletes and they didn't spend enough time talking to each other. They went out there and just tried to beat each other, tried to beat their opponents too quick, too fast, and they didn't care about each other. You've got to care about people in this world. As much as it's one thing I've always gone by in life. I've always said a friend in need's a pest.
Let's go to the footage, please.
Whoa. This is more than just a little heated discussion here.
This is getting serious.
Whoa! Oh, what a smack!
Oh, boy.
Morocco wants to turn the cheek. Oh, my, look at this. Orton hammering, raking the face of Morocco. Orton off the ropes now. We've got a match after a match. Orton over the top. Morocco's over as well. Morocco swinging it out with Orton.
I can't believe that these two good friends would be out there doing this to each other.
He's trying to murder him. Look at that.
Look at Bruno gloating over there. He's
Hey,
loving
listen,
this.
people with twisted mind do twisted things, Jesse. You ought to know that.
Goodness gracious, what's going on? Well, I can tell you what. These guys have had their differences in the past.
I don't think this one they're going to be able to reconcile after this.
No, I don't think there's any reconciliation here at all. Oh, no. Up out to the fans, they're gone.
Talk about things falling apart. Just before that, they had a match in the ring, and Morocco was the cause of Orton losing the match, really.
And then they got into it. The referee left. They tried to have a discussion, but
This
you can't
looks
talk to
rather
them.
permanent now. I don't know how they can reconcile on something like
But
that.
then again, the important thing is, who cares?
Where was Mr. Fuji? Why isn't he
I'm not
trying
in
to bring
charge
these
of
guys
Oriental
together?
managers. I don't know where he is.
I know you're not in charge of Oriental
He's
managers.
out front pulling a rickshaw. I don't know where he is.
But you always seem to come up with some kind of information.
Fuji had business, I understand. If he'd have been there, things would have been settled.
Let me ask you this. You always got your nose to the grindstone, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
Why do you think that the guy like the one-man gang who weighs 500 pounds plus is trying to humiliate and literally maim people out there in the ring? And sooner or later he's going to have to pay for it.
Well, he has been paying for it. He's under very strict guidance by the World Wrestling Federation. But the reason I think mostly is it's simple.
Let's look at the gang.
From the pages of the World Wrestling Federation magazine, here's Update with Craig DeGeorge.
Hello, everyone. The massive one-man gang is in the spotlight this week, and I guess you might joke it's kind of hard to miss him. I mean, the guy's 400 pounds. We don't need binoculars with this fellow. Now, the gang made his presence felt last week in a costly way. He decided to drop anyone, and I mean anyone who entered the ring, with that punishing front suplex of his.
He's already done
Whoa.
Ooh, no, come on.
One more for good measure.
You approve of that, huh, Jesse?
I didn't say whether I approved
Wait a
of it.
minute. Wait a minute. The referee's going to get one, too.
I don't think anybody got the guts to get in that ring. Why don't you run down there, Bruno?
Ooh, no, look at the way he folded up that guy.
Oh, my. Now he's going to get Dusty Wolf and do the same thing to him. And here it comes.
Look at this. I love it. He's beaten 3 guys and a referee.
Well, if the gang wanted attention, he has it now, but not at a cheap price. WWF President Jack Tunney made that quite clear.
After reviewing the footage of last week and the one-man gang's total disregard of the WWF officials in the ring, I've informed the one-man gang that he's been fined $10,000 and been put on a probationary period of 30 days And if in the future anything such as this goes on, more severe steps will be taken.
Some stiff numbers. You wonder if the gang has been hanging out with the $1 Million Man lately, not afraid to cough up the dough for his actions. But as you heard, Tony will not hesitate to levy a suspension. Now, the Doctor of Style, who I'm sure has a major role in this whole thing, well, he made a few of his usual brash comments.
Yo! Who does this man think he is? $10,000? Yo, that's a lot of money, especially for a first offense. Hey, and everybody knows you ought to be able to get away with anything the first time. But if you want to threaten this man, dude, well, let me tell you something. He's the most threatening individual in the ring today, Jack.
Well, Slick and the gang look as if they have big plans, and with the growing list of X's in the win column, no doubt about it, this 400-pound monster could be a candidate for major title contention. With Update, I'm Craig DeGeorge.
10,000 Benjamin Franklins.
Well, Slick spends that in ties.
Yeah,
Means
certainly
nothing to
appears
Slick.
that way, doesn't it?
I'll tell you what's going to happen if you don't watch yourself. Jack Tunney's coming down on everybody.
Me? You talking about me now?
No, I'm talking about you. I'm saying if they don't watch, and
okay.
eventually it's going to happen. He's going to weed everything out. There's going to be a lot of guys taking a walk. Thank God my hands are clean.
I'd like to see the gang try to do that
Bundy.
to Mr. T.
Oh, T.
Special.
You have to
referee.
pick him up with a blotter.
We'll be back with the big guy, the outlaw, Ron Bass, in just a moment.
I like Ron Bass.
I think that the $10,000 was appropriate.
No,
and the
not for-
one-year probation is what's even more
Well,
important.
not for a first offense. Everybody knows you walk and you slide on the first offense.
You don't walk and slide.
Except if you're a criminal like Patera, that's an animal. You are
Ken
incarcerated.
Patera took care of his debt to society.
But not to the Bobby Heenan family. Anyway, the one-man gang was fined $10,000, and I think it's unfair.
I can't see the Slickster complaint. He's supposed to have all that bread.
He spends
Right
that
now,
in
we're going to
ties.
take a look at the big guy, the outlaw, Ron Bass. So let's go to
He
ringside.
doesn't like you. Too bad.
This next bout is scheduled for one fall. Introducing first from Houston, Texas, weighing 300 pounds, the outlaw, Ron Bass.
No introduction necessary for Miss Betsy.
Also, ladies and gentlemen, introducing Miss Betsy.
There it was, though.
The opponent from Van Nuys, California, weighing
takes Miss Betsy out to
222
dinner.
pounds, Sonny Rogers.
Sonny Rogers and the outlaw Ron Bass. Hi again, everyone. Craig DeGeorge with you ringside with Sleeping Lanny Poffo and Don the Magnificent Morocco. What was that about dinner, John?
I don't know what Miss Betsy. He has a little thing with his
Yeah.
lip here.
Sonny Rogers. He looks like one of those, he's from Van Nuys, California. Yeah. And I don't think Ron Bass will cotton to him too much.
He's a big old country boy with big old country nose. This is what happens when you want to become a professional wrestler. You go to the wrestling schools, you go everywhere, you finally get able to wrestle on television.
This is it.
You look up, and there's Miss Betsy with Ron Bass.
Hey, Cowboy Ron Bass reminds me of another cowboy who you know a thing or two about, Don Morocco.
Cowboys.
What about the Ace?
There's another cowboy I've never seen on a horse.
The Ace? Of course, Bob Orton is the man we're talking about.
So he
You
used to-
remember the name?
Yeah, he used to borrow dimes from me every time I went to the supermarket so he could get a jump and ride on the horse.
Oh, man. That's a cheap shot, I think. But what's happening?
Speaking of cheap shots, let's talk about Bob Orton. What's happening is Bob Orton and the Magnificent Morocco are finished.
Well, we know that.
Our
but,
history.
Well, what was it?
It was a fact of one person not wanting to work hard enough, not wanting to sacrifice, not wanting to give enough.
I heard Bob say that about you.
Yeah, he probably heard me say it.
Well, Sonny Rogers getting a couple of shots in on
Ron Bass.
I was thinking size is relative, and Sonny Rogers really isn't that small a guy, but next to Ron Bass, he is completely dwarfed.
Oh, he didn't, as you notice, it didn't even affect Ron Bass.
That's right, he didn't even wince. He didn't bat an eye.
This 300-pound cowboy is a force to be reckoned with.
Ron Bass
line was a little bit low.
Ron Bass has peculiar large forearms.
Oh, he's going for that power driver. Not necessarily that great a power driver.
That mustache is quite peculiar, too. I notice you haven't curled yours yet, Lanny. Is that coming up?
No, I'm not old enough.
Hey, Ron Bass just put away Sonny Rogers. What a performance. Let's get the official word.
The winner of this bout, the Outlaw, Ron Bass.
Oh, man, Miss Betsy. Now that should be outlawed. Forget about the outlaw Ron Bass. That's ridiculous.
Miss Betsy is no lady.
Anybody that wants to get in the ring with a professional wrestler and become a professional wrestler deserves to taste a little bit of what a professional wrestler has to offer.
How about that move, Lanny?
That power driver right to the face. It is a devastating move, and I think Miss Betsy is no lady. That was a very poor display of sportsmanship.
Here it is. No need for this.
Welcome to the world of professional wrestling in the WWF.
Wow, the Magnificent One doing some commentary on that, explaining that things are, in fact, kaput between he and Orton. He sounded like he was a little broken up about it. His voice was, unless he's been eating Miss Betty's cooking, I don't know.
Miss Betty's a gourmet chef.
Well, that's...
I think he had faulty equipment with a bad mic.
Morocco never sounded like that to
No,
me
it was
before.
broken up. There's something wrong with the equipment. Another piece of cheap stuff.
I'll tell you who I did like the sound of at ringside was Leaping Lanny Poffo. It's unusual for Lanny to be in that position, but
it's unusual for Lanny to speak. Well, knock Miss Betty's cooking. You know, the LA Dodgers wanted her to be ball girl.
I understand
at the celebrity game.
Yeah, they bombed out 14 or 18 to nothing, wasn't it?
Well, that was in Springville. That was at Bob Johnson Chrysler Buick. But
one guy that's not going to bomb out is the $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase. Let's bring you up to date on what he's doing right now.
They were scuffing the ball, though.
All right, I thank you, Gorilla Monsoon. I noticed a couple of weeks back that nice gift that you presented Bobby Heenan. Very appropriate. A gold brick, just in case you didn't know. Here is a gentleman who has entered the World Wrestling Federation. And man, oh man alive, does he have tongues wagging, people talking. Virgil, come on in, along with the $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase. You're throwing that money around, Ted DiBiase, at an incredible rate. How long does it last?
As long as I want it to, Mean Gene, because with enough money, and believe me, I've got all that I need, I can do anything I want, I can have anything I want, I can buy anything or anybody that I want. Now, for the last several weeks here in the World Wrestling Federation, I was gracious enough to let the cameras follow me around and let you people see the way that I live, see the way that I spend my money. And I understand that a lot of you don't like it, that you're upset with that and the way that I spend my money. Well, Virgil here isn't upset with the way I spend my money. And if you're upset, I really don't care. If you want to say something to me about it or do something about it, see Virgil. But I'm here in the World Wrestling Federation to make a statement. I can buy anything I want, but once you've bought all of the material things that you want, what's left? What's left to have? Power. And where do I find that power? By climbing to the top of the ladder in the World Wrestling Federation and the World Heavyweight title. That is the ultimate goal, because then I will have everything. There will be nothing left for me to want or desire.
There's one thing that you can't buy, and I think we all recognize that. That is great wrestling talent. I'll compliment you. You've got that. If I could buy a golf game, I'd be a scratch golfer, but that just doesn't happen.
Virgil, one thing you could buy, Gene, is a new tie.
Hey, wait a minute. I can't take that.
Because that is disgusting.
I can't take that money. Thank you, regardless of the tie. Gentlemen, that's a very generous offer. Stay tuned. More Primetime Wrestling continues after this. Here, I can't have...
Some sort of a karate move there.
$1 Million Man tried to lay some of that green stuff on the Mean Gene there.
Buy him a tie. Mean Gene wouldn't accept it? He's a fool.
Absolutely not.
Man's a fool.
But he knew all about the Gold Brick Award. Boy, that word gets out quick, doesn't it?
Sure does.
Amazing.
Talking to millions and millions of people.
Amazing how quickly it can get out.
Thank God I'm tough enough to survive it.
Let's see if Koko Beware can survive the 305-pound Nikolai Volkoff.
No
Let's go to
way.
ringside.
Frankie's quite a personality in his own right.
Right.
All right, the bell, and Volkoff looking a little disturbed right now.
Well, Volkoff always starts off in this fashion. He's a slow starter, and he likes to try and out-psych his opponent. He likes to try and get him bewildered mentally before confronting him physically. But I don't think this will work with Koko.
Well, Volkoff is a little disturbed by the ringsiders, or as a matter of fact, everybody, I guess, in the spectrum. They were chanting and on his back, doing a number on him. He didn't like it, but here's where it really is. He's got one man to worry about. That's the man in the ring, Koko Beware.
Dick, I noticed that they announced his weight as 313 pounds. I would say that he's considerably more than that. He looks bigger to me right now than I think I've ever seen him look.
I'd take a wild guess at 350, maybe.
I would have to put it around that, too.
Guessing weights is all very subjective, but all right, he's got Koko Beware in the corner. Oh, Beware ducks out of it, gives him a shot, and the Russian says, hey, wait a minute, this isn't fair, or whatever he says to himself in Russian. All right, Koko Beware leading the chant with ringsiders.
Yeah.
USA, USA. Volkoff doesn't like it even a little bit.
No, Koko using a little of his own psychology on the big Russian here. The big Russian, of course, is 6'5" and just a huge and formidable opponent for Koko, but Koko is not the least bit daunted by that.
He's not bothered by it, no matter how tall you are or short, no matter. And Frankie at ringside, the bird, is flapping his wings. He's a fan, too.
The Russian, I don't think, can believe that. The Koko could take that one tremendous pounding from him and then not show any effects of it and come straight back with those two chops there.
Nice sort of a karate move, a little twisting motion and a kick to the foot on to Koko Beware by Volkoff.
Koko was ready for that, though, and got out of the way.
Very quick, very agile.
He really is. He's a very alert young man. Look at this.
Look at the strength.
What tremendous power the Russian has.
He really does. You may not like him, as most people don't. Referee Joe Morella giving a warning there. Hey, be careful.
He's a slow starter, this Russian, because if he wasn't, he should have followed that up. And by not following that up, he's lost the advantage that he had. Koko now quite recovered from that, ready to do battle again.
Oh, a headbutt. Looks like a finger, what, a couple of fingers in the throat?
Some sort of a karate move there. I don't think he needs karate the size of him.
Oh, right into the ring.
Oh, did he slam him in?
Fans are loving it. Nobody home. Beware, bail out. Now he's got him over the top rope. And that's really a no, though. You got to break it. But he gives him a shot in the shoulder anyway. Twisting the arm, holding by the wrist lock. Another wrist,
Good moves by Koko.
Oh, yeah, he's right on. A little headbutt doesn't hurt.
Oh, that doesn't hurt at all. You're right. For us, Dick, it did for the Russian, though.
Sure did.
Look at Koko. He is such a good wrestler.
You know, he hasn't even broken a sweat. He is so cool. Frankie ringside on his little perch there, the bird, just to our right. He's checking it all out. He's watching his master, Koko Beware. He's checking out the cameraman, looking at the people on the ringside. He's very cool. Beware outside the ring, and Volkoff wanting to go after him, but referee Morella saying, hey, back in, man, back in.
Morella right on top of this Russian. I think the Russian thought, if I can't do it inside the ring, I'll do it outside.
Well, Beware. Oh, takes a knee. Down he goes, hitting the canvas. Our alert ringside cameraman picking up the body momentarily there again of Koko Beware. Oh, look at this. How about that? He said, look at me, I am agile. I am quick. I studied the ballet at one time. I have a ballet button.
I can't imagine him studying ballet. He may have done, who can tell?
Maybe about 400 pounds ago.
Yes. Koko Beware is apparently taking punishment, but I've seen this man battle a lot, and I've seen him withstand 20 minutes of punishment like this, 30 minutes, and still come back and take a victory.
He takes a headbutt down on the ring apron, he goes. Beware is just a little slow getting up. He was a moment ago for the headbutt. I think maybe he's just a little bit weary. He's taken a pounding so far.
Yes, he has done. And he's wise.
Koko taking his lumps from the big 315-pound Nikolai Volkoff. The ring announcer announced him at 315 kilos. Well, that was not correct. Whom are you trying to reach?
I was talking to somebody that's going to take care of Frankie. Extra crispy.
Please. We'll be back with the conclusion of this matchup in just a moment. Wouldn't surprise me if Koko B. Ware mustered himself up to get a victory over this big guy. As he will over a lot of big guys that are in your stable right now.
Would you like the wing or the breast?
Please. Let's go back to ringside for the conclusion.
Original, too, we can have.
And he's wise to stay on the outside there for a bit, but he should really go to the floor if possible.
He takes Beware using the ring rope. Sunset flip. Oh! Got him. 2. Almost a 3. Volkoff saying to Morel, I think I read his mouth, saying he grabbed me by the tights. Do I understand Russian?
I don't know, but the Russian, I think, is a little bit slow upstairs because, once again, he should have taken advantage of that situation.
Volkoff gave him a headbutt, and Beware said, hey, do it again. I like it. I'll give you one back. Right on top of him. Nope. But look at him. Beware is on a tear. I like that. Little rhyme. And a headbutt. Down goes Volkoff. Right on top of him. No way. Volkoff had it. Oh, look. Volkoff had his hands, his arms underneath Beware and just picked him up and shoved him back about 5 feet, Lord Alfred.
Oh, a great exhibition of power there by the Russian. Just tremendous upper body strength he's got. How difficult to keep his shoulders down for a count of 3.
You don't have to like Volkoff, but you got to admire the guy can do it.
And he is agile, Dick.
Oh,
that
yes,
kick to the head there was beautifully executed.
Got Beware kind of in the middle of grabbing the head, twisting. Oh, boy. Beware better go with the flow, I think.
Well, I think he's gone with the flow quite a bit in his opening moments.
I think some hair pulled by Volkoff on Beware and raking his, I guess, his fingers across the eyes, had his back to us. Beware down.
Volkoff using all that power, all that strength, all that weight against Koko Beware, but seemingly unable to follow up on the advantages he's created for himself with that.
Volkoff took him to the top rope and they had to break. Now we got, whoa!
Oh, nice move by Koko.
Beautiful maneuver.
Got him trapped.
Oh, do you believe that?
Only the power of the Russian got out of that.
Volkoff hassling referee Morella, but that nevertheless was a great maneuver.
The Russian allows his emotions to take control of himself here because he should have been straight back on top of Koko Beware.
The referee gave a few words to Koko Beware just in case he was using the tights. And you talk about using the tights. Blatantly using. Fair for one, fair for the other. All right, the fans chanting a little bit. Oh,
reverse atomic drop there by the Russian. Now he's looking very satisfied with himself. He does waste a lot of time.
He does, and the ringsiders have his ear, don't they, huh?
They do. It's not really complacency on his part.
No.
It's just that upstairs he's not really mentally equipped to take advantage of these physical openings he creates.
Oh! Beware says, look what I found. I found a size 14.
Look at that. Tremendous power by Koko. Lifted that 350 pounds up.
Didn't quite hook him.
But couldn't keep him there.
That's right. Well, that's a massive man to try to control, as you know.
Look at Frankie Beware there. A little disdainful, I think, of Russians. I don't think Frankie likes Russians at all.
That's an American bird, man, I'll tell you. Oh! The Russian caught his knee on the top or middle turnbuckle.
That's the second time.
Gonna make a soprano out of him. Oh-ho! The fans are loving it. If you played athletics of any kind, nice maneuver.
Koko Beware planted his backside right on the Russian end. Oh, a flying fist, all his weight behind that. He may have him.
No way. Jammed him back about 4, maybe 5 feet. Boy, the Russian is strong.
Is he not a powerful man? Look, that neck must be about 26 inches.
I'll tell you, they're both both down on elbows and knees, kind of. Well, they're sort of back up. They're stunned. These guys have had a workout for sure. Side headlock by Koko on the Russian.
Russian walked right into that headlock. He may be trying to set him up. No.
Well, kind of a shoulder pocket. Both went down.
They both clashed heads there, Dick. And who's going to be the worst off? I would imagine Koko, because the Russian is so big and powerful. No, Koko.
I don't know.
Trying to first to come to his feet.
Pick.
Koko trying to shake those cobwebs away, doing his best to. The Russian is practically to his feet. First he is, and Koko is still down.
He's grabbing the middle rope to try to help himself up.
And here comes Volkoff.
Oh! Koko fired enough to give him a shot to the midsection. A second one. One to the jaw. And Volkoff's Rocky.
A little bow dance by Koko. Koko, all the adrenaline flowing now. He senses he may have the Russian where he wants him. Tremendous right
He is
hand.
fast. Look at him. How quick
And another one.
He's got him near the ropes. I don't know what he's going to do with him. Take him off the top turnbuckle with a shoulder. He's not through with him. Koko jamming into the other corner. Oh,
right into those two huge feet.
Two size 13s or 14s, whatever they are.
And the Russian too weak to follow it up.
Yep.
If he could follow that up, Dick, he would have been a winner right there and then.
Well, I think he is in the mood to kind of hurt him a little bit now. Maybe that's
yes,
what
he's done. He's going for a double arm suplex. And this is a devastating move if he can pull it off. It is a move. And he did. Koko is down, and he may not be able to get away from this. The Russian sensing victory here.
I don't know. He went, maybe, no, kick out. Wasn't much to the kick, but he kicked enough to break the hold, if you will, or the
just enough to
pin.
Raise that shoulder. Going for a power slam, no, into his backbreaker.
I don't think he got all of him, though. I think he got a hip.
Leg on the rope.
Leg on the rope.
Oh, that's a risky move by Koko. Beware, because referees sometimes don't see that. He's on that second rope, and the Russian doesn't see him. He's on the top rope, and the Russian still doesn't see him. Great drop kick by Koko. Right across him.
Got him. Got him.
Oh, fantastic maneuver there by Koko to sew this match up. What a great victory for this young electric Birdman who can fly just like Frankie.
I'll tell you, boy, sometimes when things turn, they turn so fast you don't believe it. All right, let's get the announcement.
The winner is Koko Beware.
A trifle fortunate, but still a great victory for Koko Beware. A tremendous youngster.
Let's get
Look
the
at
replay
that.
there.
What a high drop kick.
Right
Hit
off
the Russian. The Russian went down, and quickly Koko followed it up, hooked that leg, and held him there.
Big upset in my book. Koko Beware.
One of the fastest counts I've ever seen. See, when you count, you have to count 1, 2, 3. He didn't. He just went.
No, he didn't.
Yes, he did.
He happened to be in the right position at the right time. Fortunately for Koko Beware, the referee was right there. Right in the right spot.
Doesn't matter with that referee. He could have been outside. He could have been next door at the Veterans Coliseum.
It's not
still
that
counted
referee.
the 3.
It's every referee in your book.
You're right. They all stink.
Why don't you form some kind of...
I may start a school for referees.
You better start a school for wrestlers and managers.
Oh, no, I'm quite successful.
Incidentally, coming up in the next segment of our program, we're going to introduce everyone to the latest manager here in the World Wrestling Federation to come upon the scene. And Bobby the Brain Heenan is not too happy about the situation. We'll be right back. Manager is a very important part of the world of professional wrestling, as the Brain is well aware, and I'm sure that, in fact, in my travels, I talk to people all the time, Bobby, and one of the questions is, how do I become a manager? Well, it seems to be an abundance of managers right now in the World Wrestling Federation, and a new arrival on the scene is someone, I think, in your opinion, leaves a lot to be desired.
Well, the man is world famous. He set a reputation for himself. Personally, I don't get along with the guy, and I don't like him. He's trash, as far as I'm concerned.
Well, he doesn't speak too highly of you either. Let's go to the interview.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce you to the newest manager here in the World Wrestling Federation,
Welcome, please, Oliver Humperdink.
Good to be with you, Craig. Good to see everybody here today, and it's good to be in the WWF. Let me tell you something now. I've been a wrestling manager for a long, long time, and there's one thing I don't like, and that's how all managers get a bad name by a few clowns. Now, you got Johnny V, you got Jimmy Hart, you got old, what's his name, Mr. Fuji, and the Slickster. They're all right in my books. They don't really bother me that much, but there's one guy I can't stand. I mean, he's running around here shooting his mouth off all the time, and whenever he's around, managers like me get a bad name, and I'm talking about the one and only Weasel Bobby Heenan. I don't like Bobby Heenan. I don't like him now. I didn't like him then, and I'm not going to like him next week. So anyway, Bobby Heenan, in my opinion, gives all wrestling managers a bad name. Bobby Heenan is a liar. Bobby Heenan is a thief. Bobby Heenan doesn't even wait to call his mother. That's how bad this guy is. Bobby Heenan has stabbed every major professional wrestler at one time or another in the back. I know for a fact that this guy has cheated a lot of guys out of a lot of money. And Bobby Heenan, in my book, you are lower than a snake's belly. And I am personally out to here with guys like Bobby Heenan. You understand what I'm telling you?
I think we get the message, Mr. Humperdink.
Hey, you want to know the definition of a weasel? There's a weasel right there. You're a weasel, pal. You're a weasel. I don't like you at all, but you're a weasel. You are a weasel. Weasel. Who do you think you are making your first appearance in the World Wrestling Federation and belittling me in front of the great sport that I built? I belittle you because it's so easy to do. You're a weasel, Heenan. Hey, I'm talking to you, and I want you to get something straight. Let me tell you something, redhead. Humperdink, if you think you're gonna walk right in here and make a name for yourself at my expense, you're darn wrong. Because before you, there's been others, and I'm still here. And I'm gonna tell you another thing. Nobody dressed like you're dressed, with long, straggly, lousy-looking red hair and this beard. Why don't you shave it a little bit? Messing with my beard for you. What Heenan says about anything, but if you want trouble, you got it now.
All right, thank you, Oliver.
Nothing like being put in your place.
The only reason I didn't leave him laying there on that ramp out cold is because he pushed me off, took a cheap shot about 6 or 7 feet, and I kind of wrenched my back there. I'm okay now. But the day's going to come when that punk's going to get in my face again. And you're going to see no more red fur on that face, no more red hair on that face, or those lousy-looking, buggy-looked eyes sticking out of his skull, that frog face-looking geek, because I'm going to get him down and make sure that he doesn't come on his first debut in the World Wrestling Federation and try to make a fool out of me. He took a lucky shot.
He
okay,
did.
You got one. I'm going to get the rest.
You know all the things, I listened very carefully to all the things he said about you.
Yes, he is a liar.
He recognized you. He knows you very well.
And I know him very well.
Obviously, you've had some run-ins in the past.
Never have, but he's jealous of me. He's jealous of me because I'm the premier manager in the world of professional wrestling.
You're the what?
Premier manager in the world of professional wrestling.
I thought you said. Right now, let's go to a special matchup between George the Animal Steel and Cowboy Ace.
I said.
Approaching ringside from Detroit, Michigan, weighing 288 pounds, George the Animal Steel. His opponent from Kansas City at 248 pounds, the Ace Cowboy Bob Orton.
Hello again, wrestling fans. My name is Leaping Lanny, seated at ringside right next to the magnificent Don Morocco. And George Steele has already cleared the ring.
Against the favorite person of mine, Ace Cowboy Orton, who knows where to be when the animal's running wild.
I'm just wondering how impartial you're going to be with the Cowboy Ace in the ring.
Leaping Lanny, I hope I just call him like I see him.
Of course, you guys had a fantastic tag team. You were the tank, he was the technician. And now he's wrestling against George the Animal Steel, all by himself. George has quite an unorthodox style, and the fans love him.
Go, George. Oh, excuse me, I'm sorry.
Sorry. Well, it's no skin off my nose. Call it like you see it. Ace and I don't have any love lost. George the Animal Steel has just ramrodded Ace right in the turnbuckle. The crowd has really taken the Animal. Oh, but George Steele oftentimes turns his back on his opponent. He's a little naive about things like that.
Not an opponent like Cowboy Bob Orton. Regardless of what kind of lack of character he has, he's not the man to turn your back on.
That's right, and even his worst enemies would have to admit that he is very strong. Look how easily he picked up George the Animal Steel, who weighs in excess of perhaps 300 pounds. That was a tremendous maneuver by the Ace. And a kick to the cranium.
You know, Lanny, when you talk about wrestling technicians and wrestling skills, Bob Orton isn't your extremely strong 300-pounder, your 500 excess bench presser, et cetera, et cetera. But he is a man, a wrestler, amateur wrestler, professional wrestler with the tendon strength, the ligament strength, the grabbing ability that's uncanny, a complete different type of strength necessary in the sport of professional wrestling, which does make him so great to give every dog his due.
I agree with you, Don, and he's never ceased to amaze me with some of his remarkable things he can do. George Steele.
George Steele's pretty remarkable, too.
He's in a class alone.
The most unconventional, outrageous person in professional wrestling today. Green tongue and all.
That's right. You know, a while back, Bob Orton tried for a clothesline, and George Steele responded with biting on the bicep. And that chair sent the Ace flying out of the
He
deck.
should have been disqualified for that. I don't understand.
Well, Dave Hebner has his hands full, no question. Oh, if that had landed, that would have been it. Bob Orton is on his bicycle. And they are trading punches down the aisle. And Dave Hebner will have no more.
Looks like they're going to fight all the way back to the locker room here.
Everybody on their feet. This capacity crowd.
As usual, Bob knows when to go. When the getting gets rough, he starts going.
Now George Steele is back in the ring.
Here is the referee's official decision. He awards the bout as a result of a disqualification to Cowboy Bob Orton.
It was a proper decision.
Howard Finkel, not the most popular man in the World Wrestling Federation at this time, but it was proper, I have to admit. Is George going to do it?
It's lunchtime.
It's great. The fans love it. That's what they want to see. Like in Rome, they say, go ahead, down with the turnbuckle and up with George Steele. I don't know how he does it, do you? And he throws the stuffing at Dave Hebner. The fans always get their money worth when it's time. And now he's pointing to the audience. George Steele, as you
Comes
can
that
see.
chair. Oh.
Don, if he'd have hit him, what would have happened?
I would have been a very happy man.
That's right. We'll be back with more from the World Wrestling Federation right after this.
Obviously, folks out there, that match was taped long before the permanent
Whatever
divorce
you have to do.
of Morocco and Orton, because well, he had some very flowering things to say about the Ace. Morocco did, and Morocco obviously
rid of
having
him
a
right
voice
now.
problem because
I don't want
who
him around.
is it?
Just a moment. What?
We're on the air now.
No one told me.
Does someone
I'm
have
conducting my
can't
business.
You look? Can't you look at the camera? The light is on.
You can't tell with this machinery here.
I mean, with
you could
this crew?
repossess the whole thing and lose like $9.
You don't have a clue that Ravishing is coming up?
Yes,
next to the
Ravishing Rick Rude is next. But I'm talking to Miss Betty here, and I'm working on getting rid of Oliver Humperdink. He's going to be back in Miami or something counting seashells. Excuse me. Yes, go ahead.
You wish you had that kind of influence. You don't.
You mind? I'm on the phone.
I don't. As we stated out earlier, we're going to be back in just a moment
Okay, you do
with the
whatever you
latest
can.
acquisition
And I want it done
to
now.
the Heenan family.
Rick Rude is
one
coming up.
ravishing Rick Rude.
Hold on.
Certainly
I can announce him.
Go ahead.
Next.
We'll be back in a moment.
Hello.
Referee has made a little warning there. We'll see how far that goes. I think Rude had ideas to hair. Oh, nice shoulder block by Brady.
Originally, we were going to show a ravishing Rick Rude matchup here this week on Prime Time Wrestling, but being that Bobby the Brain Heenan doesn't really care what we do here.
You're not going to do what?
We're not going to show the Rude match.
Why aren't you going to show it?
Because you're obviously...
I'm conducting some business here. I can't be the host of this show, conduct my own business.
You said you wanted to be the host.
Well, I am the host, but you've got to help me out. That's what your job is as co-host. Now wrap them up. Rick Rude will be on right now. I got 4 seconds to go. Probably 3, 2, 1. Furface, hit
Ravishing Rick.
Back.
From Minneapolis, Minnesota, weighing in at 275 pounds, Rick Rude. And from Dallas, Texas, at 242 pounds, Scott Casey.
All right, Lord Alfred Hayes, my compatriot, my ringside buddy. This is Dick Graham with ringside with the World Wrestling Federation at the Spectrum. You heard the announcement by our ring announcer, and it's Rick Rude in black, as you can see him on the left, and Scott Casey from Dallas, Texas, huh? Dallas not too very popular in Eagle territory.
No. Scott Casey, a very seasoned campaigner, a really good wrestler, has great skills and a lot of power.
All right,
but I don't think his power could be the same as Rick
All right,
Rude.
looks like Rude wants to say something to the world.
Looking men in here, keep the noise down while I take my robe off so that your ladies can enjoy my beautiful body.
Made a few enemies right there, I believe.
Wow,
The
let's
guys-
see this beautiful body.
Well, let's find out.
Simply ravishing. It's on the back of his gown. What do you think, Dick?
I don't know. I'm waiting to see this gorgeous body. A legend in his own mind, huh?
Well,
would that be appropriate?
I
Not a
would
bad bod.
I was going to say, I'll have to hand it to him. He's obviously spent many, many hours in the gymnasium.
Read my mind.
I've heard that he is absolutely dedicated and a lot is expected of him. So let's see if he can live up to those expectations that the critics of wrestling have mapped out for him.
Well, time will tell, Lord Alfred.
Yes, it will indeed. If he can get past Scott Casey, he'll be on his way. But if he can't, he might as well stop right there and then.
A clean break, huh? We'll see how long that lasts. We've seen that lead off a match here and there, and everybody's friendly, but all of a sudden, all right, Scott Brady extending the invitation to come on back to the ring. No cheap shots. Okay, I'm still waiting for the dam to burst.
Yeah.
Oh, nice maneuver.
Until
what's
then,
this?
they were just sizing each other up, Dick.
All right. Rick Rude doing the hair bit with the referee. Referees, I think, was just telling Scott Casey what he thinks went on, but you got to see it. Bernie Casey, our third man in the squared circle. These guys lock horns. Oh, nice maneuver. Nice. Scott Brady. Nice. Now what? He pulled on the wrestling. Yeah.
That was a nice side hype there by Scott Casey.
Bernie.
Good balance and showing that he has a good understanding of the technical points of wrestling. And that shook Rick Rude up considerably.
Well, Bernie Scully, the referee, has made a little warning there. We'll see how far that goes. I think Rude had ideas to grab some hair. Oh, nice shoulder block by Brady, by Scott Casey. Nice maneuver. Nice maneuver.
Casey sent Rick Rude crashing to the mat there, and he didn't lift his head up, and he smashed the back of his skull into the mat there.
Well,
I bet that shook his brains a little bit.
Scott Casey not terribly big as far as tall is concerned, Boy, he's got a lot of energy and a lot of strength.
Yes, and he's powerfully put together as well.
Yeah,
Look at those arms.
for sure. Yeah, not take nothing away from Rick Rude, but he's more lean, if you will. I don't think it's an ounce of fat on him. Whoa! Drops an elbow and nobody home. Nice drag, arm drag, takedown by Scott Casey.
Very alert wrestler, Scott Casey. He knew that Rick Rude was coming down with that elbow, managed to get out the way, and then quickly took him down in an arm drag, and now he's punishing him severely.
All right, Scott Casey dropped a few elbows of his own on the arm, the left arm of Rick Rude. Rude out of Minneapolis, Minnesota. Scott Casey out of Dallas. About the same kind of weight, maybe. Close.
A lot of people I've spoken to, Dick, have been predicting all sorts of glory for this Rick Rude.
Really?
He's shown me that he can take punishment, but he hasn't shown me yet if he can dish out punishment.
Well, you got to get it both ways, don't you?
You really
I'm telling
have
you
to.
something you didn't know, of course.
I took lots in my time, Dick, don't worry. I don't know about the dishing out.
Well, no, you dished out and you took. Well, we know about you. You've done it all.
Casey trying to get that arm way up the back. He's got it nicely hooked in there.
How much can he do with it from the front, though? Usually you do this from the back and get the arm bent up. Well, it's all academic at this point.
Yes.
He lost the hold.
Rick Rude here didn't come out of that skill, but he just brute power and brutality.
Well, there's a shot, I think fist, too, right across the jaw on Scott Casey. Whoa, ducked under him. Oh, nice flying takedown. I don't know. Nice arm drag takedown again by Casey on Rick Rude. Gee.
As we said in the beginning, Dick, a veteran wrestler, Scott Casey, he knows his wrestling inside out. He's a very experienced man. He'll stay on top of you if he can. And Rick Rude at the moment hasn't fared too well. He hasn't shown us a lot of offense, and he hasn't showed us a lot of defense, quite honestly.
Sometimes the differing approaches to wrestling can throw a wrestler rather.
Yes.
It's not a case of one being better than the other, maybe, but they have different styles, and one maybe throws the other's game plan off a little bit.
Absolutely.
You never know.
Absolutely.
Things are not always equal.
I haven't been able to read the game plan of Rick Rude yet.
That's right.
But I would say that he's waiting for something to happen where he can use that explosive power.
Well, he's going to maybe make it happen, do you think, Lord Alfred?
I think he's going to have to make something happen.
Okay.
There's no good waiting for Casey to make a mistake because he doesn't make mistakes.
That's right. Okay, well, there's a little...
Well, Rude hasn't proven to be all that ravishing against Scott Casey so far.
Well, what he's doing is, and we've talked about this, he's just letting Scott Casey move around there a little. He's trying to feel the guy out. He's a very smart wrestler, Rick Rude. He's just not going to go out there and take it to him. He wants to see what this guy's got.
You really have a lot of interest in this guy.
Yes, I do. He's my #1 man.
Sure, you weren't even there.
I was
at
there.
ringside.
I was
Where
at
were you, up in
ringside.
drag somewhere in the balcony?
No, I don't.
You weren't there at
No,
ringside.
I was up in the box, watching through high-powered binoculars.
Let's find out if Ravishing can get by. Scotty, we'll be right back. Yeah, I agree with you. The guy looks great. There's no question about that. He obviously spends a lot of time in the gymnasium, pushes a lot of iron, and that, but it takes more than that.
Oh, I know that, but he has the greatest physique in the Bobby Heenan family. I'm not putting down Mr. Wonderful. I'm not putting down...
You sure
Hercules
are.
or anybody. No, but this man's just a little bit better than everybody else. And you're going to see in all of sports, there's nobody who looks like this man. The man is great. He's the next
So
world
proud
champion.
of him. So proud of him that you weren't even in attendance.
I was in the
Let's
booth.
go
I told
back
you
to the
that.
matchup with Scott Casey.
Boy.
Handshake there, and he grabs it. Scott Casey twists it down on both knees. Goes Rick Rude. Bernie Scotty, the referee, on top of it, watching. He's the pride of Roxborough, section of Philadelphia. Bernie Scotty. Athletic family, nice people.
I would have to think that Rick Rude has something up his sleeve, something in mind here, because he's letting Casey make several moves on him that he doesn't really have to. I think he might be setting him up.
Nice reversal.
He was.
Walked into a size 13. Boy, I tell you, we see that time and time again. I'll give Rude credit. He had enough awareness to just bring that foot up, that leg up.
Well, Dick, as we were saying there, I think he was setting up Casey, And if that's what he was doing, he did it beautifully. Look at the physique on him.
He's got a great one, no doubt about it.
Obviously a great deal of power. And he shrugged off all that attack that Casey waged upon him. Nice snap suplex there.
Nothing long and slow and drawn out about that. It was a fast suplex.
Oh, look. Now there is complacency.
Yeah.
If you like.
You better do the guy in while you got him.
Yes,
Don't give him new life.
That can come back to haunt you.
For sure. A little body slam in the offing and
Slammed him down hard. A little strut around the ring and going, I believe, to the top rope. High risk move.
I would not take all day.
No, a very calculated move this. He could be wrong, as you say, Dick, taking all this time.
Oh!
Oh!
Wow, man. 200, what, 40, 50, 60 pounds come down? 1, 2. Oh!
And still not.
He let him
taking out Casey.
That's like a cat toying with a mouse, huh?
Well, that's exactly what is happening now.
I wonder if he'll rue that day with that move.
I don't know. He's not showing me a lot of class, but he is showing me a lot of power.
Trying for a sleeper.
And obviously, now he has mastered this situation, and he's got the best of Casey, and he's going to let everybody know it.
Well, there's no chokehold, obviously, from our vantage point. And referee Scotty's right on top. Periodically puts his hand under there to make sure there's no choking of the air. But that arm is, well...
Oh, he held it there for the third count.
Did.
So Rude hasn't got him out yet.
Well, Rude maybe be hanging on, looks to be right now, if Scott Casey can get to his feet. He's up on one knee.
Don't let us count Casey out already. I know a lot has been predicted for Rude. The critics say he's a great wrestler. Let's see if he is.
Well, there's an elbow in the midsection, another elbow. And Scott, caught him with a knee. I thought Casey had ducked under, but caught the knee at the last second. Boy, he may be speaking with a high voice tomorrow. Oh, nice.
Rude is showing me a lot now. A lot of determination. Maybe I misjudged him in the beginning. I think his attitude was capable of doing that for anybody, but now he's showing me that he really is a force to be reckoned with in the World Wrestling Federation.
Seems to be. But I wonder, taking time out to pose, whether this is very judicious.
Well, he's sort of insulting, heaping mockery. Look at that upon Casey now.
Allows one count and then backs away.
He is just making ridicule of his opponent, and that is not the nicest thing to do. And Casey doesn't seem to be able to do much about it, quite honestly.
Oh, he's on the short end right now. And snapmare takedown. Rude right on top of him. Is they ever back to us? I can't tell. And Casey grabbing a handful of hair. Just a little desperate at this point in time. I guess I don't blame him.
Quite ineffectively. I don't think Casey has much power left in that body, quite honestly. There's been some explosive moves by Rick Rude on Casey, and it's drained all the energy from Casey. Trying hard to hang in, hanging tough, but I don't think that's going to be enough, quite honestly.
Well, you never know, and you say never, never in the wrestling game, but I'll tell you, it seems that Casey is on the short end.
My word, look at the power in those shoulders and those triceps and biceps. If our colleague Gorilla Monsoon was here, he could tell you every muscle showing there.
Well, the fans are starting to chant, and I think they're on the side of Casey, and they've broken the hold. Oh, caught him. Uh-oh, maybe a sleeper.
Great move there. Great move by Rude. You've got to face it. This man is a class wrestler.
There's a close-up of the face of Scott Casey out of Dallas. Rick Rude out of Minneapolis. They're very definitely in control at the present time.
Good leverage by Rick Rude. He's got Casey trapped completely there.
Casey very determined. He's up on, now he's on both legs again, both feet.
Well, he's not going to give in so easily. This man's been around wrestling for a long time. And maybe Casey does have something in reserve. He's trying hard.
Didn't look like too much.
Oh, he reversed that.
Right back again.
He's got that on, but not quite sufficiently. Oh.
Backed it right into the corner. Broke the hold. Gives him a forearm right across the chops. Elbow the back of the head. Rude just doing the, he's just mauling him now.
He really is. He's playing.
Oh, nice reversal. Back body drop. Whoa.
Oh, what a back chop.
I wasn't too sure which way that was going. The timing was lost there somewhere. But Rude had the worst of the two. Casey's a little bit upset, to put it mildly.
And I think he was inspired by that backdrop. He thinks he may have a chance here, and indeed he may. Look at him now sitting on.
Sort of a flying shoulder block, if you will.
I think he tried to put a knee there, going to that middle rope, waiting for Rude to get up. He's back his turn.
Oh, smash! A flying fist, I guess you'd call it. Rolls him over. I don't know if he's got him.
Wow!
Count of two. Didn't hook the leg.
He must have caught Rude somewhere very heavily there, because Rude doesn't seem to be in it at the moment.
Well, now it's Scott Casey's turn to hand it back. It's payback time, maybe. We'll see what happens.
I set him up again, I believe.
He's
I
going to
really
do a back
do
body
think he
drop.
set him up. There's a lot more to Rude than obviously meets the eye. Going for a suplex.
Another suplex, Rude.
Got him up. No.
Oh, took him.
Yes, took him, bounced him off that rope.
Nice. I know he's got it. 1, 2. It's all over.
What a professional execution of a masterful wrestling move there by Rick Rude.
Well,
took Casey over with that bounce suplex off the ropes, and Casey didn't stand a chance.
Well, that's all she wrote. And Rude, his arm in the air as the victor, and Scott Casey, the vanquished. So we'll get the announcement from the ring
winner
announcer.
is Rick Rude.
He certainly was. A great bout and a great win by Rick Rude there. Let's have a look at this now. Here comes his suplex. He lifts him to this, bounces him there off that top rope, brings him over, snaps it in. He knows he's got his man. He just takes his time, covers him. 1, 2, 3. Very, very easy, but marvelous execution there by Rude.
What did I tell you?
You know, as his manager, you have certain responsibilities, do you not?
Yes, I do.
One of them, one of the paramount ones should be to get the guy some tights that fit him. This is a family program, you know.
Well, Scott
Almost
Casey's fault. He
became
kept
X-rated
pulling
there.
on the man's tights. That's what happened. He broke the elastic, and that's Scott Casey's fault. Trying to gain an advantage because he was...
Guy's pants were too small for him.
Scott Casey's?
Rick Rude's.
Oh. No.
And as
not the
his
case.
manager, I hold you directly responsible for that.
What, am I now in charge of pants and tights and trunks?
That's part of the managerial duties, is it
No,
not?
it is not. I'm not in charge of trunks,
I'll
tights,
check
socks.
with Oliver and see if that's
Oliver,
true.
oh, don't. You better check with him right now because he's going to be around here long.
Well, you giving me your phone? I don't need the telephone. Highly unlikely that you'll be able to do anything about it whatsoever. Coming up next,
Oliver or the
here
trunks?
on Prime Time Wrestling,
I don't
our
understand
feature,
this guy.
Junkyard Dog against the 500-pounder one-man gang. We'll be back with it in a moment.
Maybe.
Feature match time here on Prime Time this week. Junkyard Dog, since returning to the World Wrestling Federation, put on some 15 or 20 pounds, and that may be to his advantage with this guy.
No, what happened was he got a haircut and his head swelled.
Please, why don't you stop?
I'm just trying to tell the truth.
You haven't told the truth in over the year that you've been out here with me on this program.
I'm the greatest manager in professional wrestling. How do you like that?
You mean next to Oliver Humperdink?
Oh, he's not going to be here long.
Let's go to ringside right now for our
Red-headed
feature
frog.
matchup.
This bout is scheduled for one fall. Introducing first, the manager, the Doctor of Style, Slick. He represents from Chicago, Illinois, weighing 450 pounds, the one-man gang.
Where's the beef?
The opponent from Charlotte, North Carolina,
Well, Cakes, he got his work cut out for him tonight, Jake.
Oh, man, you talk about this is going to be the meeting of the masses.
Junkyard Dog, one-man gang, not just another pretty face.
Is that his head or his neck just throw up, Don? This guy is unbelievable. His size, he moves well. JYD is, he's gained a little size lately. Have you noticed?
Bulky.
It's going to be a test. for both of them.
Woo. They better be pumped. The people sound pumped. This is the kind of match gets you pumped, brother.
Yeah, you want to be close, but not too close.
Yeah, you don't get right.
Yeah.
You don't get right for something like this. You just don't get right.
Ooh.
Junkyard Dog, one-man gang. You have got to be right.
And look at the, oh, dog. You never turn your back. Never turn your back. Well, at least he can fire back. Look at this. Boom, oh. Yeah.
Oh.
He lit him up then.
Got the big man rocking. Takes him to the corner.
Oh, look.
Oh.
You better take advantage of it.
Oh.
That's what you do it.
He's down. All right, there's the dog.
All right. Whew. Well, that's what keeps the dentist happy right there.
You know, this is the first time I've seen the gang rock like this.
Well, I think this is the first time we've seen him tested like this, Don. Both of us, when we was looking at this, you know, a lot of matches look great on paper, but this one, there's no doubt. Whoa. I think the gang's being surprised a little bit here.
Yeah, well, we're going to see what he's made out of tonight.
Yeah.
We've seen him take a lot of people to lunch. But you and I both know we've been there with the dog.
Oh, yeah.
And it's a dog fight.
He will abuse you. Slick's none too happy about the situation, and I'm sure he doesn't like this at all. I mean, after all, his man is here, and he's looking at him, and he's saying this is the first time that he's seen him in the position of starting to walk a little funny there. Dancing lessons, maybe. Dog's teaching him how to dance, Don.
Slick may have wondered he picked the opponent a little bit too early for his man.
Maybe too soon. You know, sometimes a guy, you know, you've been in a position where they look at you and say, yeah, we'll take you. And he just eats you up right off the bat. You know, maybe like Orton. Maybe he thinks he can take you, Don. I don't know.
I'm imagining he does.
He seems to be confident, you know, but talk is cheap.
We'll see down the road as soon.
I can't wait. I'll be sitting close for that one, too.
The dog going for it right now.
He's got to.
Yeah, he knows where he's at.
You can't give a man as big as Gang a chance. Is that right?
No. Go ahead.
Have you heard anything about this Bam Bam? Where's he headed,
everybody's claiming they got him signed, they got him sealed, they got him delivered. It would be something. I don't know. It would be something to see Bam Bam standing next to one-man gang.
Oh, the gruesome twosome.
Would that make nightmares sweet?
You know, Slick's the one that's been talking, says he's got Bam Bam signed up, but, you know, talk is cheap. We both know that. I guess we'll find out probably too soon. Oh, no doubt. He's firing now. You know, Don, I got to ask you something, right just for a moment. What happened exactly between you and Orton? Did you feel like it's just you got tired of each other, or is the love affair over, or what, you know?
Came to the dance and couldn't die. I think it's a case of Bobby Orton got confused, got frustrated, got down on himself because he wasn't winning in the winner's circle like he always was, and probably didn't want to put the right amount of work, the total amount of work needed and desired to become the world's best tag team. But that is a part of the past. The present now is looking Orton in the eye. I turned both cheeks to the man.
Yeah.
And he slapped me both times.
He did do that.
So now it's time to go to action, I think.
Well, I think all desperate men do desperate things, and Orton seems to have always been the type that when he gets backed into a corner, he doesn't just go after the man causing the problem. He goes on anybody that's around him.
He's been a leech. He's been hanging on people for years, actually, honestly, when you get down to it. There was Piper, there was the other guy with the pink hat, there was this, there was that, and eventually he's turned his back on everybody. I should have known. I should have been a better judge of character. With my intelligence, with my brilliance, with my magnificence, I should have known better than take a man on like Orton who was on as a partner.
Well, not only did you lose a partner, you lost a manager too.
JYD's rocking right now. That's a little, we'll touch on that in a little second. But the dog is...
A little help from his friends. You know, we both know what this does to you. People are screaming, you get that adrenaline rush, and man, it's like setting a fuse, man. Once you light it, it's going to burn. And they're trying to light it.
You have been all over the world, as I've been myself, and you know, nothing but the WWF turns them on.
Oh, no
it
doubt.
happens,
Another
and it turns
packed
you on
house.
being there.
Another packed house. There's something about having thousands and thousands of people.
93,000 Silverdome Stadium. And the dog is bringing it back home.
You get the big man wobbling, but you know it takes a lot more to make him wobble than it does to beat him. It's going to take a lot to beat him. Whoa! Uh-oh. The pup goes to work.
You know, this match has gone quite a long time, and I'm actually surprised to see one-man gang still going here. Now, we're probably around a 10-minute mark here, I would guess.
He's showing us something. We better remember this down the road, brother.
You watch them all.
Oh, look at this.
Oh, look at him.
That's what a manager's for, distraction.
Greasy old Slick.
Well, he is a slimy little devil, like trying to catch a feather in the wind, man. You reach out, but he ain't going to be there. Oh, no. All right. A little hand-to-hand combat here with the
everybody's in the action here. We need.
Well, told you don't want to be a fight between them. Oh, what a shot to the back of the head, throwing the big man over the top. And JYD standing there. What's he going to do with that cane, JY? I wonder what Slick's going to have to go back to the drawing board.
We got to see a decision here.
Well, let's go up to the ring for an announcement on this. See the decision.
The referee has disqualified both men. The official decision, a double
Come
disqualification.
on.
Let him go.
Let's look at this again. I can't see. I have nothing. I got no love affair with the dog.
No.
But that cane came from Slick. Slick brought it there. Slick is the one-man gang's manager.
You know, I feel like, Don, when it gets in here like this, you know, just, well, it's in there, let's use it.
That's it.
And that's what they did. No doubt about it, Dog's unhappy. He's hollering to ref. Slick, I wouldn't get too close. They'll bone himself.
He's hollering. Dog's hollering at the moon. He's so hot.
Well, you know what the people want him to do? No doubt about that.
Helter-skelter coming down.
Let's talk about the 39th step. Oh, look. Well, I don't think we've heard the last of this, and we'll be back.
Well, double disqualification?
It shouldn't have been, because if you noticed, Junkyard Dog reached over, pulled the Slickster up on the apron, and then took his cane away from him. Slickster wasn't even bothering him.
Slickster was up on the apron.
The second time. First time he
why
reached over,
wasn't he
pulled him.
disqualified the first time he got up on
Because
the
of
apron?
the referees are incompetent. Now you agree with me finally.
I don't think that when the Magnificent One is at ringside doing commentary, they shouldn't allow anyone to be choking him.
Sounds like he has a rope around his neck and they're dragging him through a parking lot.
I think that came from the last confrontation that he and Orton had. Orton caught him right in the esophagus.
Well, I don't know anything about it. There is rumor that he's had throat damage with his larynx and stuff like that.
He's not gold-breaking the way you were, but
well, of course,
he might be seriously injured.
I was seriously injured.
No, I'm talking
That's
about
history. I don't want to go
Morocco.
over that anymore.
Well, folks, that wraps it up for another week here on Prime Time Wrestling. What do you mean, thank goodness?
I have to take any more of your sarcastic
Well,
remarks.
next week you'll be happy because our feature is the King.
Brutus Beefcake and the King.
Should be interesting.
Should be very interesting.
I'll tell you what, we have a lot of interesting things next week. One of them is something that went down. I've been around this great sport of professional wrestling for over 25 years. I've never seen this happen, Brain. I'm sure you're familiar with what I'm alluding to. We're going to see our first appearance inside the squared circle of the $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase, and that's what I'm referring to. I've never seen that done before, and I thought that I'd seen it all here.
Well, Ted DiBiase is a very wealthy man, a very good wrestler, and he likes to spend his money, and he enjoys...
He sure does. He's a humiliating, revolting individual.
Well, on behalf of Mr.
Surprised
DiBiase,
he's not in your family.
Thank you.
Or your stable. Also, we're taking a look at Jacques and Raymond, the Rougeau brothers, along with Rick Martel, sensational youngster.
Oh, isn't he? Everybody that hangs around him quits.
And some humiliating footage as well. See you all next week.